This is the mindset trick that changed and saved my life. It's one of those things where a lot of things that you'll hear or a lot of tricks or hacks that you'll have, they'll change one aspect of your life. This, though, it changed how productive I am. It changed how I look at the world. Like, it's like, with a lot of the world, a lot of the time, the world will be really grey. You'll go out and you won't actually enjoy the majority of your life. If you're anything like I was, you won't enjoy the little things in life and you're always rushing towards the goal and the thing. But what you need to understand is I'm 25 now, and you'll have this same mindset all the way from when you're 18, from when you're brand new to self improvement, all the way to when you're 25. And I'm guessing for the rest of your life, if you're chasing one big goal and you're going to be happy after you've done the thing, you need to understand that you'll never be happy. So, the thing that I actually want to go over is you are not your thoughts. You've heard that quite a lot, so it's from the actual thinking comes from meditation. But I want to dig a little bit deeper into it. So, the first thing that I talk about is what are your thoughts? Where do they come from? So, your mind, how I want you to think about it is it's split into two parts. There's your conscious mind, and what this is, it takes in about 5 to 6% of your surroundings. It'll be the thing that you're focusing on. So at the moment, you're focusing on me. So that 5 to 6% of your surroundings that you're taking in is me. The other 94% is taken in by your subconscious mind. What this will be is like cars driving past your house, or let's say that you have like the sound of like a boiler or something in the background. Your subconscious mind will be taking that in, even if you're not aware of it. What a lot of thoughts actually are is, as you're walking around in the world, as you're traversing the world, you will subconsciously take things in. The things that you don't notice, you'll still absorb. And unconsciously, you'll be looking at things and absorbing that as well. So, for example, let's say that you're around negative people, or let's say that you've seen something negative on TV, or you've seen somebody fail. You will, in one way or another, absorb that information, and then your mind will start to regurgitate that information as well. That's one part of your thoughts. The other part of your thoughts is your mind is trying to protect you. So what it'll do is, it's like like human existence, it's on different sort of levels and planes. The lowest level is obviously survival. And what your brain will try to do is, it'll try to protect you. It's its job. So it'll try to protect you from getting hurt or from failing. And what that'll actually result in is you'll have a voice in your head telling you that you can't do something. And a lot of the time we'll think that, oh, do you know what? That is me. That thought is me. You'll think that, you'll listen to it, and then you won't do the thing. What you need to understand is, even though we've got to a point now where I'm assuming you're living in like a first world country, you can like you've got food, you've got like like your basic needs met, but your brain doesn't know that, and your brain will still it's still in that sort of lizard brain monkey mind sort of mode where it will try and protect you from not being able to survive, and it's a very sort of important hurdle to get over. So going over so before anything else, so that's your two things. So your thoughts are either when you walk around and traverse the world and you absorb information, or it's your brain trying to protect you. That's what all of your negative thoughts are. Examples are, so one of the biggest examples would be limiting beliefs, which we've talked about, and I've said that's your brain protecting yourself. Let's say that you're going to university, and you think that you can't get a certain grade. You can't get this grade. You can put all the work in the world into this grade, and you still won't get it. That's a limiting belief. You're in the gym and you want to lose weight, and you've got a part of your brain again saying that you can't do it. That's a limiting belief as well. Money. You can't get to £10,000 a month, or you can't become a millionaire. That again is a limiting belief. It's a hard thing to do, and only 1% of the world's population are going to get there. We know that. But why can't that be you? That is again a limiting belief, and that's you listening to your thoughts. Other examples are, and so that's more, limiting beliefs are a lot easier to understand, and it's a lot easier for you to hear that thought and sort of swat it away. But you can get deeper than this as well. So one of the biggest things that I struggled with when I was younger was porn addiction. Again, when you get a craving, it could be porn, it could be smoking, anything. When you get a craving, again, that thought that you get, it is not you. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can swat that thought away, the sooner that you're going to be able to get control of your life. And it's not limited to that. Look, for example, let's say that I'm doing work now, and sometimes you'll let the work really get you down, and I'll be like, do you know what? I need to have a break. I remember this. This was me about 6 months ago. I'd be like, I need to have a break. You know what? I need to just go and watch some Netflix for a bit. And what will happen is you'll sit down and you'll watch Netflix. When you're watching Netflix, first of all, you're not enjoying yourself. You're there, your mouth breathing. You're looking at like a TV screen, and you're not actually enjoying your life. And that you're actively procrastinating. You know that you should go downstairs and do the work. But you've listened to that thought in your head. You've listened to the fact that you feel like you need a break from doing the thing. And again, it's pushing you away from doing the work because you're listening to these bullshit thoughts. With porn, that you'll get this, and if you watch, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll get that thought that you need one more look, one more peek, even if you're not going to do anything. Your brain will be it's a very convincing sort of argument that your brain will put forward. You'll have one more peek, and that'll lead to another peek, and then you're back to square one. And a really big one for me, and one thing that I've really struggled with throughout my whole life, is overthinking. So, for example, let's say that I wanted to start a business when I was younger. This is true. I wanted to start a business, and then you'll start to think of a million different reasons why you can't start that business. Oh, the market's it's oversaturated, or what's the name? I'm not in the right position to do this. I don't have the knowledge to be able to do this yet. I can't pull this off. And you'll have all of these thoughts, and what will happen is you'll start to think about it again and again and again and again and again, and you'll start to drive yourself crazy. This happens to me, and I know if you're anything like me, this happens to you as well. You'll just start to go on and on and on in this overthinking cycle. And because you do that, you're never going to be able to get good at doing the thing. Well, forget that, you're not going to do the thing in the first place. What you need to realize is this is a really big defense mechanism that your brain has to stop you from getting hurt, and you need to be able to brush it away and stop listening to it to be able to get forward in life. It's very important. And then what you're asking yourself now is, and what I would ask myself in this situation is, what do I actually do about it, Fraz? How do I actually get rid of this overthinking, these limiting beliefs, and that voice in that head telling me to go upstairs and have a wank? There's two things that worked for me. Two things worked very well. The first one is meditation. What meditation is, a lot of people they'll overcomplicate it. All meditation is you're sitting somewhere, you're shutting your eyes, and you focus on one thing called the home base. It could be a million different things, but I'll keep it simple. You're focusing on your breath, yeah? You breathe in through your nose, and when you do, you focus on one specific part of that breath. Either, when the air travels up your nostril and it brushes against the nostril, either focus on that, or you could even focus on for me, when you take the deep breath, where the air's going, so you can literally feel it, traveling up your nose and that sort of thing. You could focus on that as well. But you focus on one thing, your brain will start to get distracted. You'll start to think of a to-do list or something that you haven't done or something that you're stressed out about. The second that you realize that you're thinking about something else and you snap back to thinking about the breath, you start to strengthen that meditation muscle and that ability to be able to snap back to thinking about whatever you want to think about. This gives you a lot more power over life anyway, because you get to dictate what you think about, and it's very important. It's one of the most important and most powerful things you can do for yourself. And the more you do this, the better you get at it. It's like a bench press for your mind. So there's meditation. And the second thing is, and this is like a mindset trick, and this is the sort of thing that will have been in the title to begin with. What you want to do is, you want to split your brain into two halves. What I want you to do is think about somebody that you really like, or a celebrity, or just somebody in general that you really like. Every positive thought that you get is now this person talking to you. This person saying, Fraz, you can do it. This person saying that, look, this market's oversaturated, but everybody else isn't you. Or whatever positive thought you can think about that's going to drive you to your goal comes from this person. At the same time, on the other end, any negative thought, you think about somebody that you absolutely hate, somebody you don't respect, somebody that you absolutely hate and you can't stand that this person is telling you what to do. Any negative thought comes from this person. And what's going to happen is, first of all, you're going to hear this person talking and it's going to piss you off straight away. You're not going to want to have to listen to this person. So you're going to start to swat away these thoughts. And when you do this, it's going to give you a lot more power over your thinking. And what it's going to do naturally is it's going to force you to focus on the positive and swat away the negative. So just do that. That's the action step. After listening to this video, meditate. But more importantly, when you think of a positive thought, it comes from somebody that you respect or you really like. When you get a negative thought, it comes from somebody that you absolutely hate and you despise. And what this will do is, it will lead to you swatting away those negative thoughts, focusing on the positive, and it's going to lead to you having a lot more power over your life. I completely forgot to say this, so I'm going to say it now. Nobody ever got better at doing something by not doing it. You have 2 action steps. Please just take action on these 2 action steps and you will see that it'll change your life and your way of thinking exactly like it changed mine.